This is Stade Lyon in Lyon, where we are about to launch Australia's World Cup campaign. That's the weather forecast. Beautiful conditions for rugby today, and the Australians are taking on the Japanese for only the fourth time in the history of rugby, and the last three times were quite a long time ago. In fact, the previous time was in the 1987 World Cup, the very first.
He misses out, but Berrick Barnes, on the other hand, the young fellow, gets his opportunity to make his Test debut if he should run out. And I think Berrick might have a few nerves flowing through the system as we speak.
Now, Tunie, I want you to use your vivid imagination. I want you to imagine I'm Berrick Barnes. What advice would you give me going into this game?
I'd tell you to stop eating for starters. No, all jokes aside, I'd tell him, look, this is a big occasion for him. He's going to make his Test debut during a World Cup. Doesn't get much bigger than that, but I'd tell him to try to relax. He's going to be coming off the bench. So he's going to be sitting there watching the game. There's going to be nerves. The mistake you can make is that when your time does come to hit the paddock, you've burned a lot of energy just by sitting there thinking about it. So I tried to tell him just to relax a fair bit. This may be the only opportunity he gets to play in this World Cup. So I'd tell him, look, take the bull by both horns, get out there and make a statement.
And you can see, as Phil Waugh pointed out, all the guys with different ways of preparing. You see Berrick Barnes with the headphones on. Georgie Gregan had the headphones on. Lottie Takiri with the earpieces. Georgie Gregan, I would gamble on him listening to a bit of jazz.
Berrick Barnes to take his place on the bench, but how nervous will he be about, or quite possibly to make his Test debut at some stage in the 80 minutes, Judy?
He will be nervous, and you know what, it's a lot tougher making your debut off the bench than what it is in the starting lineup, because you're sitting there watching the game, thinking about your first touch. When you run on, you can get out there and get involved as quickly as humanly possible.
Well, we've talked about it before, the experience of running on against another side. It's interesting, normally in a Test match you don't actually walk next to the man you're going to be playing against. Matty Dunning there a bit slow off the mark, but I tell you what, he'll be ready to go come game time.
He scored 3 tries. They'd be very happy if they could do the same at Stade Lyon.
Hands off,
The Wallabies had the early opportunity. Gregan picks from the back and sends it high for his chasers in Takiri. That rhythm now contributed to by Berrick Barnes, who's taken the field for his Test debut. That's a wonderful moment for Berrick Barnes. Of course, had a season or two at the Brisbane Broncos, signed up with the Queensland Reds. John Connolly picked him for this World Cup tour, and he'd be very, very excited about the opportunity to bring you all the big matches, including that crackerjack clash, Millennium Stadium next week. The Wallabies going up against the Welsh. That pass in front of Berrick Barnes, Giddo cleans up. Gregan finds Elsom to Dunning. Gregan, George Gregan goes outside, and Berrick Barnes, 2 minutes on the field, scores his first Test try. He's congratulated by his teammates, including his inspirational skipper Sterling Mortlock, and that is the smile of a man who has realised a dream, makes his Test debut, and only moments later crosses for his very first try. Congratulations, Berrick Barnes.
Yeah, congratulations, Berrick Barnes. George Gregan, a little while before, did him no favours with the pass from half-back. He repaid the favour here, though. Great little pop pass, and Berrick Barnes doing everything right, being everywhere he possibly can be.
McMenamin did well, and the replacements as a whole are doing well with their opportunities out there. Barnes finds Elsom crashing his way out through the centres. Turnover for the Wallabies, and Matt Dunning crashes his way towards the try line, throws a pass to Barnes. Drew Mitchell steps inside. Oh, that's too easy for the Wallabies. That's Drew Mitchell second. And once again, we are celebrating a Wallaby try. Ono goes wide. Kinigawa kicks downfield. The chase from Japan, but Chris Latham beats them to it. Back inside, Drew Mitchell. A little bit of the dipsy-doodle, gets rid of one, Drew Mitchell. Finds his support. Giddo out wide to Berrick Barnes. And that's 3 for Barnesy. Rocky Elsom did it earlier. And now Berrick Barnes celebrates his test debut in impressive style. There's no doubt about that. Adam Fryer scores the try, but Matt Giddo converts. And that puts the icing on a very impressive performance from the Wallabies this afternoon at Stade Lyon in Lyon. They bring up 90 points. 91-3 is the final score.